1, 2, 3, 4, so on and so forth until every single black wool has been added. So add all the black wool and it's just going to raise up. Basically, this is Mickey's hand, and from what I can tell, also simultaneously a hot air balloon. However, we're sticking with the hand. I don't know why, the glove balloon freaks me out. So that is Mickey's wrist. We now want to add a layer of white wool on top of the black wool, like this, creating kind of like a magic wand sort of look. We want to take the front row of 3 white wool, we want to add another layer of 3 on top, we then want to place a light grey wool on the left and right hand whites, and then an additional one on top. Add white wool on top of the grey, connect them between, fill the centre in, and then add a layer of 3 white wool on the left and right, creating a circular shape. We then want to do the same thing on the back. On the back, we'll add a layer of white, then light grey on the left, right, add one on top, white in between, and on top as well. We want to add a layer of white on the right, and also simultaneously on the left. We want to connect this glove together, front to back. So connect the glove together, front to back, like this. Just connecting the end blocks, you don't have to connect all of them. That'd be a real pain if you did. This gives us a nice sort of hand shape. Once again, unfortunately, Mickey has fingers. So we now, in line with where the light grey is, we want to take the very centre of the glove, which is this row. You guys will be able to see it. In line with where the light grey is, we want to add rows of 1, 2, 3 white, 1, 2, 3 white, like that. That looks like a rabbit. Guys, just indulge me here. I just wanna do this. Oh, that's an adorable rabbit. It actually looks like he's coming out of a magician's hat. Anyway, so what we now want to do is we want to take out our white wool, and we want to, once again, the middle rows, the very top right-hand side of the hand, we want to place white wool, and then we want to place 2 on top. 1, 2. Actually, make that 3. And then on the left, place 1, up by 3, 1, 2, 3. Those are Mickey's fingers. You can actually reinforce the fingers by adding an additional layer of white in front of and behind the actual fingers themselves. And it might actually make it look a little bit better. So let's add a layer of white behind as well. And it will make, that's just a tad bit better. I like that. So that is Mickey's hand. If you want to convert that into like a hot air balloon instead, feel free. I'm sure that you guys will manage to do that. It shouldn't be too hard. You basically just build it off of the ground. Anyway, once you've done that, it's now time for us to do another part that I've not been looking forward to, Goofy's shoe. So, Goofy's shoe is roughly in line with the back of the slide. So, basically, we're going to take the very end of the slide here, so this block, and we want to, from this block, we want to leave a reasonably sized gap in the ground. So like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Like a gap of 15 between the back of Mickey, where the slide is, and where we're going to be placing this shoe. So here is where we're going to be placing it. Once again, you don't have to be precise with this stuff. It's not a big deal. We then want to place a yellow wool on the ground on top of this block. We then want to go up by 2. 1, 2, still looking at the ground. Do an upright diagonal, right 2, 1, 2, bottom right diagonal, right 1, upright diagonal, right by 3, 1, 2, 3. Place a light grey wool going right, then do a bottom right diagonal with the yellow. Come down by 2, 1, 2, do a bottom left diagonal with the grey, then go left by 4 with the yellow, 1, 2, 3, 4. Do an up left diagonal, go left 1, bottom left diagonal, left 2. This is the base of Goofy's shoe. Looks great if you ask me. Place a blue stained glass on the very center right hand block, the yellow one, and the very center left hand yellow block. Those 2 positions. Then, on top of all of the yellow and all of the light grey, add 2 additional layers. So that'll be 1, 2, going all the way around. This is going to be Goofy's shoe. If you're all familiar with the program, then you know more than me. But apparently there's a shoe in which Goofy inhabits, lives inside of it, or something, and that's roughly right at the back of the slide-ish, give or take 15 paces. So we want to add, on top of all of the yellow and the light grey, we want to add 2 layers. Perfect. What do we want to do now? So, on the right-hand side of the ship, we want to connect the light grey together, front to back, diagonally. So, 1 row above, and inside the shoe, we want to add a layer of light grey. We want to do the same with all of the yellow at the front of the shoe. So, like this. We then want to fill in the back of the shoe. The way that we're going to do this is we're going to place a layer of yellow wool in a square shape above and higher and inside of the square shape of the back part of the shoe. So kind of like that. We're also going to place a yellow wool going right of the right centre block, downwards from the bottom centre block, left, up. So like this. We then want to add another layer of square yellow wool on top of this, like that. And we want to fill the top of this in. Well, we're actually not going to fill it in with anything because you are actually able to access the top of the shoe. So if you want, or you're supposed to be able to at the very least, so you might want to add like a series of ladders so that you'll be able to actually walk from the shoe and enter. Plus, we have a hole in the shoe. We want to add a yellow wool there. We also are supposed to have an entrance. So we're going to use our oak doors and port slabs, and at the very back centre part of the shoe, the part that faces Mickey, we want to knock out these 2 blocks, and we want to place a door here. And above the door, a layer of quartz slab, like that. Looks lovely. So we're actually supposed to be able to walk in and inhabit it. It's actually kind of cool. We also want to come all the way up to the top here. We want to grab our nether rods or end rods. Now, if you don't have end rods, feel free to use birch wood fence. Same sort of thing. Grab yellow wool and red wool. On the back left-hand centre part of the shoe, here, we want to place an end rod, and then place another one on top. Then you want to place a plus shape of red wool going all the way around the second end rod, like this. Perfect. We then want to place a yellow wool in between the square, or in between the plus shape of red. We then want to extend the red wool outwards by an additional row like this. And also we want to place a layer on top of the original red wools, like that, like that. Then place yellow wool popping out from the very top centre part of the parasol, the umbrella, and that is Goofy's shoe. Looks fantastic if you ask me. I hope that you guys think the same thing. So there's a couple of things surrounding Goofy's shoe. To the right of the shoe, this way, we have a few bushes. So if you leave, say, like a gap of 7 between the middle of Goofy's shoe on the right, where the window is, leave like a gap of 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then you can place a spruce wood with 3 line wool on top, 1, 2, 3. Then extend the centre wall to the right and left. That's one of the bushes. It might be that we actually want to place, nah, it's fine. Well, we should have enough room. In the ground, we want to leave a gap of 3. Place another spruce. In the ground, leave a gap of 3, place another spruce. Yeah, we do have enough room. So on top of the first spruce that we just placed, we want to place a line wall. Go left of it, on top of it, to the right of that block, up 1. Perfect. On top of this last spruce, we want to go up by 3. 1, 2, 3. Extend it to the left and right by 1 row, like this. Also, there are supposed to be more trees and stuff and more bushes behind this. However, I found that you can't get the right shapes, so I didn't. Those are perfectly fine. Also, in front of the space between the shoe and the bushes, there's supposed to be a nice little picnic table. This is made out of yellow wool, blue carpet, flower pots, poppies, or any flower you like. So in between the space between the shoe and the bushes, you want to place it roughly about halfway between Mickey and the shoe, and we want to have a 3 by 3 square of yellow wool on the ground like this. That's perfectly great. We then want to place, coming out from the corners of the square, blue carpet. So coming out of the corners of the square, blue carpet, and we're going to place flower pots on any 2 of the corners, and we're going to place poppies inside of the flower pots, just because it looks nice. There's also a little farm as well. out in front of roughly the entrance of the shoe. We're going to have it roughly in line with where the little picnic table is. And for this, we're going to need a hoe, seeds, green hardened clay. Oh, and some iron bars as well. So, in the ground, we're going to figure out this area. It's going to be about 6 blocks long. So, let's say about here. About here is where I'm going to place it. I'm going to place 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be 5, 6. I'm going to place green hardened clay inside that. Yeah, that's not too bad. Coming upwards from the 6th block, I'm going to come up by 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to place green clay. The space in between the 2 points of the clay. So I'm gonna get some grass out, and I'm also going to get my hoe back out again. I'm going to rejuvenate the grass area, and I'm going to place iron bars on top of the green. I'm also going to dig out a rectangular shaped space that sits inside of this, and I'm going to place seeds here. This is a little farm that Goofy is working on. That's all there is to it. Very, very simple stuff. And what I'm now going to do is I'm going to do, I assume, Pluto's doghouse. It's made out of cyan wool, stone slabs, and there's also a little fire hydrant, unbeknownst to, I don't know why, which I would recommend grabbing. I don't have this. Red hardened clay and a button for. Completely forgot about this. So somewhere to the right of the farm, probably about in between the hand and the farm, maybe moving a little bit towards this way, we're going to have Pluto's little doghouse. It's going to be a row of cyan wool, 3 cyan wool, 1, 2, 3. We're going to extend the left hand and right hand blocks forwards each by 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. We're going to add a layer of stone slab on top of the left hand side, right hand side, like this. We're also going to connect the back together, and we're going to have a strip of stone slab that sits above this, and we're also going to have a layer of stone on the left and on the right as well. Also, we're going to have somewhere around here, red hardened clay, button in front. That's supposed to be a little fire hydrant. It's not really that important that everything is precise here. As a matter of fact, it looks better if it isn't. If I do remember correctly, and it might not be, there is a little bit of sand around like Pluto and the fire hydrant, and I don't think it's like a nice solid shape. I think it's actually a little bit like, what am I saying? Like it's not like a big perfect circle. It's kind of like an irregular shape. So I'm just going to add a layer of sand around and inside Pluto's little doghouse. You don't have to add this. As a matter of fact, it might not even be factually correct. I just think that it might look a little bit better, honestly, because there is quite a lot of artificial grass used in this build. I'm sure that the ground is not the same here. I'm almost positive. I guarantee I've got this wrong, but you know what, we're doing it anyway. It'll look nice, regardless. So we're just going to fill this in with the chiseled sandstone. And I'm going to offer you one thing that you could add that I actually haven't in the original video. In the original version of this, you know Mickey's hands? You have to be able to access it, because I guess they walk inside there and there's a hot air balloon involved. You have to be able to get to it. Well, there's a door. It's actually a red door, and there's a bit of a platform to get up there. I didn't do it on the original version. That looks okay to me. That looks all right. So on the back of this, you might find you want to add a big red door, whether that be made out of red wool or whatever. A big red door out the back of this. It'd actually look a little something like this, maybe something like circular in nature like this. So you'll be able to enter and leave, put a door on there. And these stairs were actually very, very colourful, maybe like a red sandstone slab, something like that. That's if you want to be able to actually access the art, and then, like, again, it kind of depends what you want to do with this. If you actually wanted to have like a secret room or something, then that'd be kind of cool, but up to you. That is most of Mickey Mouse's clubhouse. Looking pretty good. However, there are some things that we can do that will make it look even better. There's a tree to the left, which is kind of mandatory. I don't know why I like trees. But coming out of the back left-hand corner of Mickey's hand, we're going to place an oak wood sapling, or an oak sapling, here, staying clear of the hand. And we're going to grow it, and that's going to be a little tree that is present on the actual, like, it's supposed to be there. We actually can't see it because it's kind of small, but still. Also, there's a bit of a broken path between, like, the center of where you'd like walk in, which would be here. There's a bit of a broken path, so we're going to dig some space into the ground here, and we're going to knock into the ground, and we're going to create a nice cyan clay pathway leading from the very front center part of the build, leading all the way over to the right. So those are